Okay, I'm really not sure where I am in near minus. I can get a tick speed boost, and that I mean that is useful, sort of. The tick speed boosts are underwhelming. They make the tick speed very slightly faster, and it really doesn't even do much. I mean, maybe when I get more galaxies, it'll be better, but you just reset everything for this tiny little boost. It's almost not worth it, but it probably is worth it somehow. I probably just need to be... If I can start getting some of these galaxy upgrades, that's going to really start doing stuff. Also, I'm going to change the notation because we're now doing Cancer and New Game minus. So I'm just going to switch it to Standard. So it probably looks better. And it will until we reach infinity, which is not in a very long time. I have no idea how long it's going to take for me to reach infinity. So I have no idea if this is like the start of an episode or the end of the episode. So yeah, I'm really not sure. So see in a bit. I'm not sure if it's the end. Yeah, see in a bit. Okay, I'm back again on New Game minus, and I can gain another galaxy point. This is insane. We can get this upgrade, reduce the dimension boost, cost multiplier to 5, which should really help. Unfortunately, I don't think the beginning of runs are going to be any faster, but that's New Game minus. It's extremely hard to make any progress in this game. It is a little bit faster than before. Like, I was able to actually go through a few dimension shifts, especially after I got the tick speed boost and the Antimatter galaxy. Like, I could do it in one sitting, but it's still slow. So yeah, see another long bit. Okay, I'm back. I've one galaxy. I'm getting the first tick speed boost. I can actually get I can get 39 8th dimensions, which is interesting. But anyway, it's tolerable at this point. So the tick speed boost gives about a 1.9 times multiplier to all dimensions. It's just enough that it's actually tolerable to do dimension boosts and like entire like dimension shifts in one sitting. It's interesting how that just works out. The first one is not bad, but like once you get farther along, it actually gets quite tolerable. It's interesting. It's really not that bad once you get a lot of them. This is still extremely weak. The tick speed upgrades are still extremely weak, but we can still get the tick speed upgrades. It's really annoying how slow this is, but it's definitely more tolerable than before. And once we get this upgrade, that's gonna be a powerful. It's gonna help. Earlier on, it's not gonna be very helpful, but later on, it's gonna be extremely helpful. So what I'm doing, I'm getting the bottom one because it's gonna give me a higher multiplier in all dimensions. I'm noticing it's based on like how many times you buy these, like each dimension. It like and it gives you like the product of bot. What that means is that it'll give you a certain boost based on the amount of times you've done it. It's like 10 or 20 or 30. So like the bot is how many times you do this, but it does it for each dimension type, or so each type of dimension. So then it multiplies that, and it can give you pretty powerful multiplier. That's what I'm understanding from New Game minus. It feels like it's definitely getting. It's definitely not as bad as it was before, but it still takes a while. The very beginning is grindy, but from unlocking 6 dimensions to like 28th dimensions is actually pretty fast. Like, there's a lot of things you can be doing to keep the production up. It's interesting how it works. Like, you can notice the percentages. If it's below 10%, then like on like these things, it's usually pretty slow. But you're noticing I'm keeping it at like 25%, which is interesting. It's interesting how fast I can keep it. I know, yeah. There's still all these achievements I can't even get. I've gotten that. It's pretty crazy. Maybe I can even get spreading cancer, but it doesn't do anything. And New Game Minus Minus, that achievement actually has a reward, which is interesting. But here it doesn't look like the new. Hopefully this game has achievement rewards. Like there's a really OP one for claustrophobic, but it doesn't seem to be showing up here. Which really, maybe it's an intended New Game Minus 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 thing. I'm not exactly sure why there's no achievement rewards, but in New Game Minus Minus there are like extra awards in some of the achievements that are extremely nice that really help things. Some of them are just flat out OP. So you can notice I'm already up to 1 trillion antimatter and it's staying at a decent pace. I mean, it's still a bit slow. I think once I start to get like the next dimension shift, it gets a lot faster. Because I mean, I'm only showing you this just because I have 1 antimatter galaxy and 1 tick speed boost. That's like optimal speed right there. So because it would be really slow otherwise. So this is what like a full run would be like if I'm doing it like this, which I don't usually do. I usually just do like one at a time, and I go back after like an hour or a day, and that can sort of, and that helps me. That gets me to the next dimension shift, and I rinse and repeat. I get the Antimatter Galaxy. I get the tick speed boost. It's not that interesting. It's I mean, hopefully once I get some of these more of these galaxy upgrades, it's gonna help. Here's a second dimension shift. I think at this point it definitely the game starts getting faster after the second dimension shift. It gets a lot better after you get like the first couple dimension shifts. Like you can see it's up to almost 30% on all dimensions, which is pretty. It's fast for a New Game minus. That, I mean, this game literally it's so slow. There's 3 minuses. New Game minus is already slow enough. I mean, I have gotten much farther in New Game minus. Like, to put it into perspective, like where I'd be now, this would still be like episode 1 of New Game minus. Like, I would maybe have 1, maybe 2 of the galaxy upgrades. That would be it. That's what New Game minus is. But here it's just this is ridiculous. I have no idea what New Game minus is going to be like. Yes, that is a thing. There is a New Game -4 and a New Game -5. That's how insane this game is. The reason why I'm not getting the tick speed upgrades, they're very weak. Tick speed upgrades are very weak. They're 1.022 times multipliers on all dimensions. Even with 8 dimensions, that's probably just about a 15% boost. Which isn't very good. I can still occasionally get those upgrades, but you're noticing how much faster this is than before. It's interesting how this game is it's keeping up to speed. I don't think I've heard New Game -4 is not going to be like that. That is going to be that's going to be pure. That's going to be like torture. It is. I have no idea. I'll eventually have a series on New Game -4. I want to have a series on every decent Antimatter Dimensions mod. Basically, okay, I think my definition of decent is just one that isn't riddled with so many bugs it's unplayable. I think that's what I mean by decent. Here we go. It's slowed down a little bit, but we can get the next dimension shift. It's not that bad. So here we go. Next dimension shift, and we're up to 27th dimensions. I can even try for another tick speed boost. I'm not sure if I'm gonna instantly go for the galaxy. I think I just need one more dimension shift, and it'll show where the next galaxy upgrade is, or no, not like how much I can galactic sacrifice for. I can maybe I can even do dimensional sacrifice. I'm not even sure if I've ever done a dimensional sacrifice in New Game minus. It's that crazy. I can't believe I haven't even gone to dimensional sacrifice. Like, that's... You unlock that early on in the main game. It's just 5 dimension shifts. That's it. And I think you know what it does. If you're watching this series, I'm guessing you know what the main game is and you know what mechanics are, because this is... Yeah, this is crazy. This is just like that, but nerfed to oblivion. And there's new stuff to compensate. That's what New Game minus mods are. So you're noticing I'm actually keeping the first dimension multiplier up at 40%. And a lot of it the time it's over 30%. It's 60% there, which is insane. That's 80%. Like, you can see there's actually some speed in this. It's not all just like ridiculously slow. It's gonna be pretty powerful. It's gonna keep it in the 40%, and then it's now going down a little bit, but not by all that much. I'm trying to get these because it just does speed up very slightly. They're more important than in the main game, because that it will help with that multiplier in all my dimensions, which is nerfed by one of the New Game minus nerfs. So that's fun. Just everything nerfs. Yeah, so it's slower now, but we're so close to getting the next dimension shift. We can just do it. Let's see how many it's probably just gonna be 1 galaxy point we can try to get. This will be helping. It's going to reduce the dimension boost cost multiplier to only 5, which is going to make it much easier to get dimension boosts, which means that it's going to be easier to progress in the game. Here we go. Okay, I apparently need one more. I need one more dimension boost, but it's still just 20. I don't actually know. It was 20 the whole time. I'm not even sure why I'm saying it's still just 20, but it's definitely... You're noticing it's a lot faster. I think the fastest part is like quadrillions. It's like when you're getting like 5th dimensions and 6th dimensions, because it gives you a 2 times multiplier in all dimensions. I mean, even though it's nerfed, so it's maybe like a 1.6 times multiplier, but that's still a pretty good multiplier to get on all your dimensions. Like, yeah, this is the fastest part. Because like you're getting the boost. You're getting still strong boosts every time you do like a per 10 thing, and I'm getting like 50%. There's an abundance of upgrades here, so that's how it's possible to get 70, 80%. I topped 100% there, which is pretty crazy. And then at this point it starts to slow down a little bit. I think when I get 8th dimensions, there will be a little bit of a burst of speed. It's right here, and it actually gives me a lot of 7th dimension. That's going to be powerful. Seems like it's when I get the next dimension. Got to 120%, is still staying up. So that I think it's just when I unlock the dimensions. That's when it really gives me that boost. It's still at 60%, which is very good. It's now going a little bit below. It's now only back in the 40%, which isn't as good. I'm going to be getting 3 of these, but it's just the first 3, so it's not going to be as powerful as it might have been if it was like a different set of 3. So I'm rambling on and on. It's sort of interesting just to go through this is what a full run is like in New Game minus. It's just finally to the point where it's like doable in one sitting. Before, it was so slow, I could not do it in one sitting. But now it's to the point where it's actually doable. We can even get our next dimension boost, which should really help. The dimension boosts are still pretty powerful. That is one thing. Here we go. So only 25 8th dimensions to get the next one. And I can only get 1 galaxy point. And I need 5 galaxy points for the next upgrade. So... that's that. Not sure if I want this upgrade or this. Or even the galaxies are 5 times stronger. I'll probably just be getting them one at a time. That's how I'll be doing it. But you can see it's actually fast enough. I'm pressing M. I'm holding M down. It's that fast. I think a lot of the boost just comes from when you purchase a dimension. I think that's where a lot of it comes from. I just want to get to the point where I unlock the 8th dimension again, because that's the most powerful part. That is definitely when you unlock the 8th dimension. There's 110% there. We're getting and it's staying high here. It's still at 60%. Get this, and then there's so many things I can get here. Gets me 80, 100, 100, 130%. It's very good. I mean, that's insane, actually. For new game, minus, that is pretty insane to get 130%. Also, I'm just going to do this. So, the last thing I'm going to show you, I promise, this will be the last thing, is going to be dimensional sacrifice. I'm not even sure if I've ever done a dimensional sacrifice. New game, minus. So what it does is it resets your dimensions. It doesn't reset your antimatter, but it resets your dimensions. But it gives you a boost on the 8th dimension. So, actually, I can, like, just turn the confirmation off just real quick. Just to see what it does. So it's like, it'll remove all your first 7th dimensions, but it'll boost your 8th dimension. So, yeah, that's what... Actually, it worked differently than I thought it was going to work. Maybe the text box... There's a bug with, like, reloading the game that sort of... that gives me more production than usual. I could abuse the bug, but I don't really want to. It's not really in the spirits. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.